The 5 things you should know before committing into supply chain capacity development programs. First, be clear about what supply chain capacity development actually means. Second, to succeed, be mindful of our 6 guiding principles for supply chain capacity development. Stay tuned to discover what they are. Third, understand the different capacity development support offerings out on the market. Then choose your partners wisely. Fourth and fifth, explore whether your organization is facing one of the most common supply chain capacity development dilemmas, and if so, be sure to take proactive measures to get around it. Watch the rest of the presentation to find out how. Just what is supply chain capacity development? Whether it is called capacity development, systems strengthening, or capacity building, the objective is usually the same: to make changes that have a positive effect on the end-to-end supply chain, so that the right products find the right recipients in the right quantities, so that the supply chain is efficient, cost-effective, and sustainable, with decreasing dependency on external assistance. Supply chain capacity development must always consider 3 different levels that may help or hinder functioning of the supply chains. These 3 levels are the enabling environment, such as the national level policies, governance, priorities and funding, and then the organizational and individual levels. Improving supply chains may therefore require thinking beyond the actual supply chain. Major root causes of poorly functioning supply chains could, for example, lie in fact outside the supply chain itself, on policy level. Sending staff on training courses or hiring technical consultants may be part of capacity development programs, but they are not by themselves and in isolation of other longer-term activities enough. So, what are the 6 guiding principles for success? 1. You must understand what your current supply chain or chains look like. You also need to understand the stakeholders and staff in the supply chain, and what their skills and motivations are, and the state of the support systems they use for their daily work. It is also important to understand the enabling environment, that is, the policies, governance, and funding-related aspects that impact supply chain operations. Again, supply chain issues may relate to or be caused by activities, decisions, and structures that are dealt with outside the supply chain itself. That is why looking at the big picture is essential. And that is why any supply chain capacity development programs need to be aligned with the plans and activities in the broader context. Otherwise, the effort may be wasted. In summary, well-functioning supply chains have quality products, enough qualified and motivated staff that are supervised and that feel a sense of accountability for their actions. They need to be able to communicate smoothly and have the tools and the systems to support their daily operations. All of this needs to be anchored in and supported by the relevant policies and good governance, and funding needs to be made available for the supply chain to work on a sustainable basis. 2. It is your system. Only you can lead. You may need support to do so, but ultimately no third party can fix something they do not own. 3. Always think partnerships. Supply chain capacity development is a major undertaking. Involve those who have something to contribute or who depend on the system. 4. Avoid wasting your money and effort. Only implement solutions you know will fix the problems. Root-causing issues at the onset may be complex and time-consuming, but it is ultimately worth the effort if success is part of your plan. 5. You may be able to identify some quick wins, but capacity development is a longer-term program. Discuss early on with the stakeholders what success will look like and how you will measure it in the short, medium, and long term. 6. Capacity development is becoming an increasingly popular topic of discussion with organizations that are willing to help. But theories don't always translate into good practice. Do your homework on those who really live and breathe capacity development, as opposed to, for example, short-term technical assistance. Let us now understand the current capacity development support related to supply chain. The market for supply chain capacity development offerings is complex. There are many players that specialize in one or the other aspect, but which one could be right for you? Examples of organizations involved in capacity development include United Nations Procurement Capacity Development Center, UNDP, the World Bank Institute's Capacity Development and Results Practice, UNOPS, UNICEF procurement services with limited in-house staff, JSI John Snow, JSI Research and Training Institute, Management Sciences for Health, the Partnership for Supply Chain Management, Crown Agents, AEDES, Axios, Glowcoms Inc., HERA, iPlus Solutions, Human Dynamics, the People That Deliver Initiative, PATH. And there lies the dilemma. Where do you begin to minimize risk of failure? Where do you go to find out what you should find out before you commit your funds? Although spoken about increasingly often, SCCD is not yet a well-established concept, not even fully with those who want to help. SCCD can still be wrongly treated as technical assistance or training. SCCD is complex even for those dedicated to the field. Even supply chain experts can be scratching their heads to make a plan for a capacity development program that has a chance of success. And if you are not a supply chain expert, it is likely to be even more challenging. You are asking many right questions, and now you just need some answers. This is where we step in. We help you help yourself to clarity before you commit on longer term. Our primers are designed to do just that. We can help you master the essentials so that you can move on to the next steps with confidence and less risk. From stakeholder engagement to funding, we cover the basics. Interested? Let us discuss to see whether collaboration could be beneficial.